The 133rd FA Cup final saw Arsenal equal Manchester United's record of 18 appearances in the showpiece event. Arsene Wenger had already been victorious in 4 of those finals and was aiming to win the Gunners' 11th FA Cup. Hull City were making their first ever appearance in the final, and despite a successful season back in the Premier League, the odds were definitely stacked against them. The commentators, Michael Owen and Ian Dark.
Starts for the first time in this cup run. England's Jack Wilshere is fit enough only for the bench, while Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain isn't risked at all. As for Hull City, with regular strikers Shane Long and Nikita Jelavic cup-tied, there are rare starts for Matty Fryatt, while Maynor Figueroa is surprisingly left out. Just waiting for Lee Probert's first whistle to get the 2014 FA Cup with Budweiser final underway. And an early touch for Tom Huddleston for Hull City. They haven't won since the semi-final, but I think their thoughts since that day have been very much focused on how they're going to go about this, Michael.
And you don't blame them, do you? As I mentioned earlier, a lot of teams nowadays give the FA Cup a miss when in terms of resting some of their players, but Steve Bruce has certainly had his eyes on this since safety was secured in the Premier League. He's been resting a few players for this, the biggest game of the season.
And he's decided again to play with 3 at the back and wing backs. We'll see exactly what the plan is. Maybe Stephen Quinn is a surprise selection. I don't think too many people guessing beforehand thought he would start. He's had a couple of little runs out lately. Will Hull look to congest the midfield areas and try to play some havoc with the Arsenal pass masters?
I don't think there's any question that's going to be the case, Ian. They're certainly filling that midfield, an area that Arsenal have been so dominant over the years. And I think the big question for Hull is to not get done down the sides. Obviously with a wing back each side, they're going to be outnumbered down those flanks.
Here's Rosinia with a determined run forward, cut out by Bakary Sagna, who, according to reports, is on his way to Manchester City once the season is over. Bound to be a little bit of pressure on Arsenal. Their fans will well remember they were in that League Cup final 3 years ago against an unfancied Birmingham, and a howler late on presented victory to Birmingham City.
Yeah, they've certainly got all the pressure on them today, Ian. Arsenal, without having won a trophy for a long time, Arsene Wenger under a little bit of pressure. Certainly he's done well to get 4th place in the Premier League, but they need silverware as well. It's too big a club to have gone so long without silverware.
Here's Stephen Quinn towards Matty Fryatt, who, despite not starting a Premier League game this season, is Hull City's top scorer with 6. Now then, Al Mohammadi, the right wing back. He loves a cross. I think he's got more than any other in the Premier League this year.
Yeah, and it's taken a little flick off Kieran Gibbs there, so corner kick for Hull.
Their very first corner of the game goes all the way back to Huddleston, who was looking for one on the volley. It's deflected, and it's in! Hull City are ahead early on. It came off Chester. My goodness me! 3 minutes on the clock, and Hull stun Arsenal.
Well, that man, Steve Bruce, he does a jig down the line, and what a start for Hull City. And it was a training ground corner. It didn't go to perfection, but it had been worked on, and the ball squirms past Fabianski. As you see, it's a pinging corner kick. Tom Huddleston, he miskicks that a little bit, but there's James Chester on the back post, and he just guides it into the far corner.
It's an amazing story, because James Chester was a huge doubt for this game at the beginning of the week. He's got himself fit, it's come off him and gone in for only his 2nd goal this season. What a start for the underdogs. It was a good touch in the end, wasn't it? A very improbable goal scorer. Once a kid with Manchester United, he never got much of a look in there. but he's been a key defender this season when fit for Hull.
Yeah, I must admit, Ian, I was at Manchester United when he was coming through the ranks, and he was always a good, solid player. But he's really thrived. He's really gone up a level since he's been at Hull. You wouldn't have automatically looked at him and thought James Chessie's a Premier League player, but Steve Bruce has taken a few Manchester United youngsters, really developed them into full-time Premier League professional players.
The only other time he scored this season was against Manchester United, and a bit later on he scored an own goal in the same game. Never going to forget this day already. Hull looking to threaten again, and Myler was first up for the header. He got above Sanya for that, couldn't direct it goalwards. Quinn keeps the pressure on. It's a terrific start this from Hull City, and they might have another one. They do have another one. Curtis Davis, the other central defender. Sensational start here from the Tigers, who really are burning bright.
Well, what an amazing start to this cup final. 2 set pieces, 2 goals, and 2 centre-halves have scored them. This is all about Stephen Quinn, though. Wide, he sends Aaron Ramsey for pies here. Look at that, a step over. And what a lovely dink ball. It just drops in. Fabianski gets his hands to it, but what a finish again from Davis. He had to keep it low, and he punches that ball into the far corner of the net. What a start.
Ian, you see Wenger complaining about just something that happened beforehand, but every free kick's going to El Amadi now, and they've got to sort it out. Somebody's got to go with him that can head a ball. He's beating Gibbs every time and causing problems.
This is the kind of nightmare start we've seen Arsenal have against the big teams in the Premier League in some lunchtime kickoffs this year. At Hull City in dreamland, Arsenal supporters cannot believe it. And that will go behind for a corner kick, an incident that rather sums up Arsenal's early disarray.
And you just can feel the belief in the Hull fans and players. You know, the cheer that went up when that corner went past the byline. They fancy this. 2 corners and 2 goals so far.
Goes a long way, and the header off the line. My goodness me, it was Alex Bruce with the header, and that was nearly 3. Kieran Gibbs keeping it out.
Well, you nearly called it, Ian. It was nearly 3 out of 3 defenders scoring for Hull there. It's a lovely header. It's all he could do really, is to loop it back over.
Now Podolski. Free kick's given. Dangerous situation. Central, 30 yards, 25 yards even. Cazorla, and a fantastic goal! Arsenal back in it! Superb strike from the little Spaniard.
Well, it's an absolute phenomenal free kick from Santi Cazorla, right in the top corner of the Hull net. I mean, what an angle we've got here. Yes, it was Alan McGregor's side, and I'm sure the Hull goalkeeper will be thinking, why did I take that extra step? But it's a fabulously executed free kick from Cazorla, right in off the crossbar, and it's just what we mentioned. Arsenal back in it and back with that belief.
Michael, the players often say that the surface here at Wembley is a bit on the slow side. It's hard to zip passes around on it. And we'll develop that point in a moment, because here's Podolski. And a chance for Ozil, and he didn't take it. No clean contact from the German. Big opportunity.
Oh, down these wings, both wing backs really direct, and here we see Podolski plays a lovely ball.
Koscielny won the header. Myler helps it on for Hull City, and then Huddleston, who really can strike them He scored in the semi-final. Very fine goal.
I mean, not many Premier League players have tried that, Ian. This is the best chance in many ways.
And the flag is going to be brought back here. The players dragged back by Lee Probert. Thought he was in business for a moment.
Well, I'd love to see that again. That certainly wasn't a foul.
Myler. Oh. Ball given away. Lovely play by Santi Cazorla. Superbly done from him. He's got Ozil to his left and Giroud to his right. And it's cut out by Curtis Davis. And that was the last act of a thrilling first half, a dramatic first half. Sensational start by Hull City. James Chester first, then Curtis Davis. Hull 2 up in 8 minutes. Santi Cazorla has given Arsenal some hope, and it might be some second half here. At half-time, it's Arsenal 1, Hull City 2. Wonder what Arsene Wenger said at half-time. I don't think this time Curtis Davis had to do the half-time team talk for Hull City as he did in the semi, with Steve Bruce sitting in the corner with a cup of tea, as he said. Hull do rather like the new Wembley. They won a Championship playoff final here against Bristol City in 2018, Windass and all that. And of course they beat Sheffield United here in the semi, and now they're 2-1 up against the odds against Arsenal in the final. What next? Again, it was Alex Bruce, just as you said, Michael.
I'm sure he's got a magnet somewhere on his head there.
Gibbs. Just a little bit of a slip there. Giroud's appealing, saying that he was impeded there, went to the ground, but nobody else in an Arsenal shirt seemed that interested. Koscielny lays it forward. Giroud doesn't quite make it stick.
Yeah, see, that's a ball that cannot go through the heart of the whole midfield. They've got so many bodies in there. One ball from Koscielny into Giroud's feet, along the floor all the way. I mean, the midfield players have got to cut that out. They've got to be protecting their back three.
Ramsey's little spin away from the hard-working Livermore. McShane didn't win it. Giroud did. Got the better of McShane there. How important might that be? Well, Sanogo was on the near post. Couldn't quite direct it in. It's a corner that's given Hull. Don't agree with that.
No, nor do I, Ian, but it's a great little run. And great strength as well. I thought McShane for a minute was going to bring him down, and Sanogo just goes for the little Cruyff.
Cazorla to swing it in. Bouncing around, danger, turned it back to Johnny! Arsenal level! The scorer's down injured, but Hull City concede the goal. Arsenal have turned it around. And the goal came from a controversially awarded corner. The scorer is quite badly hurt by the look of it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he's hurt, but he'll be back up on his feet in a minute because he's just brought his team level. He floated into a position and he wasn't picked up. It's a great header. Well, I think it's from Sanyu in the end, and there's Koscielny just mopping up in front of McGregor. He swivels, and it just takes a deflection, doesn't he? He does well, though. He swivels, just hits it under McGregor, and Arsenal right back in it. But, well, as you said a minute ago.
Yeah. Ian, you know, when I look at that, the referee did not have a clue which way to give that. He went on the crowd at the back of the goal, the Arsenal fans, up in arms for the cut. That was never a corner in a million years.
Santi Cazorla, scorer of the goal that got them back in it. Sanogo might have another go. Plays it across. Great chance. Kieran Gibbs! And he's missed it. What an opportunity for Arsenal.
Well. Unbelievable miss. I mean, I'd like to say that's what you get when defenders are in the box. But even a defender should be putting this away. I mean, his first touch was shocking. It was so, he needs it out of his feet. He's got to dig it out, hasn't he? He's got to dig it out from underneath him, and there's only one place that's going.
Now then, the volley from Giroud! Tremendous save this time from Alan McGregor.
Well, it was a fantastic save, a good play by Arsenal this time, a little bit more direct, headed down, and look at that for technique.
It's Mikel Arteta. He missed the final in his Everton days against Chelsea because of a cruciate injury. Ozil, beautiful ball. Giroud lays it off. Sanogo! Great move from Arsenal. Not quite the finish.
Well, Arsenal, they've not gone with two strikers all season, haven't they? But this is where it's positive. Play it into the second striker. The first one spins off, and that's a scruffy effort, isn't it, in the end?
You see that little lad there? I can't watch this anymore, Dad. There it is. We will have extra time. Hull 2 up in 8 minutes, with two of their defenders scoring, Chester and Davis, but Arsenal do claw it round in the end. First it was Cazorla, then Koscielny, and we have extra time coming up at Wembley. I know you won't want to go away. Chester in a spot of bother, but he got himself out of it, to be fair. Davis let that run a little bit tired, possibly. Ramsey and Giroud! Oh, he's hit the bar! So close for Arsenal.
You see there, he does most things right, doesn't he? You just think McShane just puts him off, gives him that little nudge in the back at the end. Last ditch challenge from McShane, but he will still be disappointed with that.
One for Aluko to chase. Koscielny doing the covering. Big call by Arsene Wenger today, not picking his first choice goalkeeper, Wojciech Szczesny, his Premier League goalkeeper, but Fabianski's played every round in the Cup, so he got the nod. Szczesny has to watch on and be a spectator. I think that decision was taken pretty late in the week. Fabianski may be a big player again before we're through here. Ramsey. Wilshere. Sanogo. Giroud. And yes, Arsenal get the goal. It's Aaron Ramsey. That's the one they were looking for. Arsenal turn the FA Cup final on its head. 2 down, 3-2 up.
Well, you just felt it was coming, didn't you? And it was a typical Arsenal goal again. One touch playing, a little back heel, and Aaron Ramsey, the most dangerous man on the pitch, in a red shirt, fires Arsenal into the lead. It just breaks, but look at that for a lovely little back heel from Giroud. And Ramsey strikes, and he strikes it well, and it flies into the near post. He takes it early, doesn't he? Doesn't give McGregor any time to set himself. It's a lovely finish by the Welshman.
16th goal of the season for Aaron Ramsey, and maybe the most important of the whole lot. Has that won the cup for Arsenal? If so, Neil Warnock, that is a goal fit to win any game.
It is, and even I said that in the second half. If anybody was going to break it, I thought he was, because he's making those runs.
And they just look crestfallen. Rosicki. Running at the heart of the defence, not too many challenges now. Sanogo plays it inside. Giroud. It would be very, very cruel on Hull if there was to be another one to really rub it in.
Well, you can see it happening now, Ian. If Hull don't get the equaliser, you can certainly see Arsenal go down the other end and how things are turned on the head.
Sanogo. Can he get his first Arsenal goal? Whoa, decent effort.
Aaron Ramsey's waving his arms at the back post and he should have passed. Very difficult to score from there.
Here's Mertesacker. Oh, a mistake by him. And Fabianski came, he didn't get there. Aluko! Oh my goodness. Nearly for Hull. The drama seems unending here today.
Well, as you're saying, what drama. You could see, couldn't you? Fabianski was never in a million years going to get this one. But once he committed, there was no going back.
Aluko had that opportunity. Looked like he was caught a bit by Ramsey there. Stays down. Meanwhile, George Boyd got the cross in too. Curtis Davis was going for that if it had got to him. Comes out again. Shone Aluko! Oh, and Fabianski saw that late and only just grabbed it.
Well, that had all kinds on it. Looked as if it was spinning and moving all the way. Here we see a perfect angle and yeah, it's just fading away, isn't it, from Fabianski? I can only think he saw it late because he was late to dive.
Patrick Vieira's penalty deciding that. Wilshere and Rosicki's got clear water here. Can finish it all off. He can't because it's away by Max Shane from right under the crossbar. And that is it. 9 years of hurt over for Arsene Wenger and Arsenal. They have won the FA Cup. And quite a story it was too. When all hope seemed to have gone, 2 down in 8 minutes. Arsenal, comeback kings, win it. All that awaits now is the lift of the trophy. A lift I think they thought would never happen today early on at about 5:15. Thomas Vermaelen